What's up guys, Dr. McDangles back here with another video, and welcome back to the Montreal Canadiens Rebuild Franchise Mode series with Rick Rebuild. It has been a hot minute, but we're back here for some videos for you guys this week and most likely next week, still working out my living situation. But if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future content with the Canadiens and future series. But if you guys did miss the last episode, we basically went through the off season. Go ahead, check that video out. If you go in the playlist for this video, check out the channel, check out the last couple of videos. You'll see how we got Patrice Bergeron. But in today's episode, what we're going to do is we're going to simulate, basically get to the halfway point of the season, see how things are, and then in the next episode we'll finish off the season, and then the episode after that we'll get into the playoffs and off season. So I'm wanting to try to get it so that it's basically three episodes per season. I don't want to do a whole season per episode because that doesn't give you guys much opportunity to make changes to the team throughout the season. So that's what we're going to be doing moving forward here with the Canadiens. But I first honestly want to take a look and talk to you guys about one thing here, and it's honestly, our team is great. And first and foremost, thank you guys for the comments down below. Gunther would know how to say his name now, which is awesome. A couple other guys with some name issues that actually don't have to worry about anymore. I know Mark, I know you wanted me to try and go out and get Jirik, I believe is what his name is, 72 medium elite, but leave unassigned for a year. He's already an 88 at 50 game mark in his rookie year. I tried searching him before this episode. I could not find him anywhere. So if you know where he is, let me know in the comments. But we had a bunch of comments. Suzuki, make him captain. Keep Suzuki on the first line. Keep the 2+2, which we're going to do. We're going to start the year off with keeping the 2+2 for the top two lines. That's what we're going to do. And first, before we even start simulating through anything, what we're going to do is we're going to assign our boy the captaincy. Nick Suzuki, he is the future of this franchise. He is deserving of the A. He's going to be here a long time. And we're going to unassign the captaincy from Petrie. We'll give him an alternate, but we're going to give the captaincy to Nick Suzuki. Deservingly so. He is the future of the franchise. And in today's episode, you're going to see what I'm about to do. We're stripping Gallagher of an A. You'll see why here in just a moment, of something I really want to do. But I'm trying to figure out who we should give an A to. But that'll be up to you guys for the next episode of who should get the other A. We'll let you guys decide in the comments down below who should get that, but you'll see why in just a second. Actually, we have to have an assistant captain. Interesting stuff here. Let's give an assistant. Let's just strap an A on Klingberg for now. That's not what we're going to have here moving forward in the future, but you'll see why here in just a second. And after taking a look at the lines, guys, it's evident that Gallagher, we don't need him. Honestly, he's sitting here. He could either go on the third or fourth line, and with his contract, 86 overall, he's got decent trade value at $6.15 million for 5 more years. At 30 years old, we don't need him. I would rather get rid of him now while he has some value before we lose out on him. And honestly, I think the back end is where we need the most help. That third line pairing just is not what I want it to be. -3. I don't like that at all. And actually, on the offensive side of things, we could put in polling. Hold on, let me double check the comments here. Marissa, you helped me out last time. It's Ryan Paling is what it is. Paling is what you told me his name is, so we're going with Paling. I don't know if that's correct, but I believe you 100%. We could put somebody like Lehkonen in. Paling. It's going to take me a little bit to get that right, Paling. But I was also thinking maybe down in the AHL, I want to call up the guy that we got an absolute steal of a deal on, and that's Daniel Sprong. I believe he'll fit the bottom couple of lines. At 25 years old, we could possibly get him to level up maybe to 81, 82 at an extremely good contract deal. So before we even start this season, this is exactly what we're going to do to try and boost that back end with some more young talent, to bring them in and boost the boys moving forward. So as you can also see here, Gallagher actually has some pretty decent trade value. He was our leading point scorer last year on the team, which is one of my worries of getting rid of him. But I did a little bit of looking here before the video, and I think it's going to work here with trying to get Adam Bogvist. Bogvist, I believe is how you pronounce his name, Adam Bogvist. He played for, I believe he was in the trade with Seth Jones. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he was part of that deal of Seth Jones going to Chicago. He goes to Columbus, and honestly, in real life, I don't know how he's doing. In the game, let's take a look and see how he's doing. Last year, he only put up 29 points in 82 games played. I'm actually curious about his time on the ice. 22 minutes a game. I mean, he's not going to get much better with the Blue Jackets. So honestly, a 1-for-1 swap would be awesome. Trade is rejected, so we're going to have to fluff up the deal a little bit here to bring him in. He has a great contract, which I will show you guys here in just a moment. Our picks for later years aren't looking the best, but I'm not honestly too worried about it. Maybe a third round for the way far future is not going to work. Whoa, how's it going?
Good.
They lost last night.
We did.
Men's D1, I thought you went to the game.
Yeah, I did actually.
We'll try next year's third round pick plus Gallagher. Most likely won't go through. I honestly think if we throw in a prospect here, we could possibly get something to go forward with this trade. And honestly, I think we picked up a rookie goalie last year. They don't have the best of trade value. But if we take a look here, maybe Sims, he most likely won't develop into anything crazy, although maybe Bradford here might be the better option. Demetrius Bradford, how is he a U.S. player? But I think we'll throw in Sims here in this deal and actually take away that third round pick. This should go through. It is rejected. We'll go for throwing in the third round pick here to see if this goes through. We don't have a lot of good picks, so we'll just throw this in, see if it goes through. Wow, that trade is rejected as well, so we might have to throw in, instead of him, we'll have to throw in the other rookie skater. Bradford, he has better trade value than a third round pick. We'll see if this goes through. It's heavily in our favor. Man, they just don't want to get rid of him. That's kind of crazy. Do we have anybody higher? We have this Krasinski kid, 18 years old, 53 overall. Probably not going to develop into anything too good, I would have to say. And for just one defenseman, I know this is a lot, but we're getting a lot off our books in basically dead weight, getting an elite player, and they reject that trade. That's actually kind of crazy. So we're going to have to try to find another defenseman here, and I think I have a backup. Little bit older of a defenseman, guys. Jacob Slavin. He would be a nice shout to bring in. He only technically says fits the top 4 pairings, which we'll have to do some finagling of the lineup. But, I mean, 28 years old. He's got the X factor. We need more of those on the team. We only have 2 on the back end at this point, and we're going to have to do some finagling with the retaining of salary, which I don't really want to do because it then takes us really up to the wire. We're going to have to move on from this trade, but I think I have one more backup plan for this. This is the backup plan, guys. Noah Hanafin from the Calgary Flames. He's got a really good deal at $4.95 for another 2 years. He does technically only fit top 4 defensive pairings at this point, and it's only 3 lines of that, so it could be an absolute bust. But what I'm also really intrigued about, and actually let's get rid of the retained salary on Gallagher. I'm not too worried about that with this deal. I think it's going to go through, but what we can also try to do is maybe even bring in, see what they got for right wing. Sammy Blaze would actually be a really cool deal to try and bring in if he fits any of the lines. He does not, which is a bummer. They don't really have anybody else at the right wing position. Maybe at the left wing position, they have anybody of note that would be worth bringing in. Milan Lucic, oh man, his deal is just absolutely insane. Podis Eberg, I believe is how you say his name, but he doesn't fit any of our lines. So this is actually a good opportunity to try and bring in some more draft picks for the next couple of years. And we already have 2 first rounds for next year. We could get a second and a third, I think, out of them, but I really want to try to steal their first for 2 years down the road. Most likely not going to be able to get that. So let's maybe switch this to their second down the road. Second round draft pick. We could even maybe squeak in another third. So let's do the third for next year's draft. This might be a little bit in their favor, but they accept the deal. They accept the deal. We get Gallagher off the books. We're going to have to go to roster moves. Actually, no, we don't. We just need to go to edit lines. And, I mean, I'm pretty happy about that. Noah Hanafin, solid player at a good age as well. So I'm pretty happy with that. If anything, we might have to call him up. Let's see who actually fits the bottom lines. I mean, Lehkonen fits pretty well. Paling doesn't really fit, so we'll throw Lehkonen in, substitute in all lines. He doesn't really get a bump, which is a bummer, but hey, he gets exactly what Gallagher would have gotten anyways, which is nothing. So that's I'm okay with that. We need to throw somebody in here for the 3-man power play or 3-on-3 play. I don't know if Duran's in any of those. Substitute. He is not. But let's throw. I want to throw Gunther. Hold on. I know that you, Melissa, you got me on the pronunciation here of Gunther. And I don't know if I responded to that. I'm trying to look it up here really quickly. Yeah, Gunther. There we go. Gunther. I believe the E is silent. Gunther. So that's what we got there. Actually, I'm curious about special teams power play +1 or +2 on the top. And who doesn't fit is the question on the bottom. We're going to have to move somebody out. I think Rodriguez is going to have to be the odd man out. But let's see now. I'm curious where Noah Hanafin is going to fit. And I think if we get Fleury out, throw Hanafin in, it's going to be a little bit better. It's not. Wow. That is interesting. I mean, if we throw Hanafin on the top line, although if we could maybe get Romanoff. No, Petrie maybe on the top line with Klingberg is going to work. It does not. So Hanafin gets a top line role. Edmondson, I mean, he is 29. He's defensive defenseman. Do we have 2 defensive defensemen on that? Yeah, we do. So our bottom pair is like our shutdown pair on D. I wonder if we throw Niku in there. He's a 2-way defenseman, but I would rather have a nice solid third pair D that's just that's your shutdown defensive pair with Sherratt and Edmondson. That's pretty nice. Hanafin up top, Romanoff, Petrie on that second pair. That's pretty nice. We'll take that all day, every day. And this is actually where I want to try to get something sorted out here with this second power play unit. I'm wondering if maybe we throw Romanoff on that. Yeah, he actually gets it to 0, which is nice. So we'll roll with these lines here to start the year. Actually, Lehkonen on that top pair I don't want, but he does get the +2. So let's see here. Toffoli works a little bit better. I'd rather have Toffoli anyways out there on that pairing. Can we get it a +3? It doesn't look like we can, but I'm happy with that. That's a nice power play. Although if we get maybe Caulfield anywhere, no, Caulfield doesn't work. Okay, so those are our lines to start the season. That's what we're going to try to do. We got some draft picks, which is really exciting for next year, so we'll try to flip those maybe by deadline time frame. But let's go ahead and get into the simulation here of the preseason. Here we are, guys, with the simulation. We'll simulate up to the Tampa Bay Lightning game just to see how things look. We get a couple of offers for some some picks for the next couple of years, drafts for Brook. I forget who Brook is. I have to take a look and see. I think he's the top defenseman on the AHL team, or one of the top defensemen. Josh Brooks. I mean, I'd rather keep him around. Maybe in the future, if we get a trade offer like that and he's not playing well, that's an opportunity to try to snipe something. We get some more AHL offerings for Justin Braun. Maybe bring him in would be a nice little shout, plus 2 third-round picks. Let's see here. Ooh, this is actually one of our prospects. I don't really want to get rid of him. He has an opportunity to become something special. Plus Justin Braun is, I mean, he is an 81. He doesn't really fit our lineup. Plus, how do you say this, guys? Tiro was a first-round pick, so I don't want to trade a first-round pick for 2 third rounds and Justin Braun. That's just a no-go. I'd rather have our guy. Paling gets a trade offer. Don't really want to give up him, to be honest, although we probably could. This is interesting, though. We could get a third-round pick for Paling, and then I would call up Daniel Sprong. This actually might be a nice little shout here. A third and a fourth for 2 sixths. That's honestly an upgrade. Paling, 78 overall. He is 23. I don't know. He is fast. He was a first-round pick back in 2017, but I think if we bring up Daniel Sprong for a more depth-type player, I think this could honestly work. And we could honestly maybe squeak out another pick out of this, to be honest. Let's maybe try to get, I would even say, a 7th-round pick out of this. And I'll accept that deal. 100%. We get 3 picks. We're swapping 6. We're getting a 3rd and 4th, and then a 7th pick is accepted, or trade's accepted. So I'm kind of happy with that. We'll call up Daniel Sprung. We beat the Red Wings 3-0. We lose to the Sabres 6-2. That's a little alarming. Beat the Sens, beat the Leafs, lose to the Bruins. Big game against the Panthers. We lose to them. So we're even, as well as the Lightning are on the year. But this is where, before we start the regular season, I do want to call up Daniel Sprong. Suzuki, 6 points in 6 games, which is a good sign, to be honest. But this is where we're going to call up Daniel Sprong. We'll have to do a little bit of editing of AHL lines, which I will do off screen. But Daniel Sprong, he's done a really good deal. We'll bring him up to the major leagues, and we will do best AHL lines. Let's see what that puts together for us. And I don't mind. Really, the AHL coach can do what he wants down in the AHL. I'm not going to disagree with him. But what I'm actually more interested in is what Sprong brings to the team. Man, he fits a lot of the lines, which is really nice. And to be honest, I would maybe rather have him over Lehkonen in the lineup. He is also a right-wing sniper. And does he do better on any other line? +2. Okay, so we'll throw Sprong into the lineup, see what he can do. But this is this is us starting the season, getting ready to rock and roll. Another run to the cup would be great. Fingers crossed that we can get there, but you never know with injuries. And there's a lot of other things that can happen, but we'll see what we can do. We've put together, I'd say, a solid team. So let's simulate through this first month of the season, October, as we finish off the preseason, losing to the Lightning. So we were below 500 for the start of the season. Oh, we got to assign our scouts. Guys, give me just a second. I will assign the scouts. I was going to say, we need the scout to know what we're doing for next year. So give me just a second. All right, guys, so we have the scouts assigned, and the season is underway. We win in overtime against the Capitals to start things off. Big W against the Rangers. Get a massive game here against the Toronto Maple Leafs early in the season. We had an AHL injury there Marchenko fully healed. I didn't know he was ever injured in the first place. So we'll continue on. We lose to the Maple Leafs. Big home game here. Ooh, Edmondson's going to be out until October 25th, so he's not out for long. Mild concussion, but that is really going to hurt the back end, which we're going to have a minus here. Niku or Fleury. We're going to give Hayden Fleury a go. We'll see what he... Oh, my God, that's a -5. We cannot do that. We cannot do -5. Niku only be a -2 or 3. Oh, it's -5 all the way around. We're going to have to roll with it. We're going to have to roll with it till the 25th, so that's next week. We lose 5-2. Lose 4-0 to the Penguins. The Blackhawks, Noah Hanafin's out till January 27th. Oh, my goodness, guys. Our back end is literally falling apart. Oh, my goodness. This is a dagger right now. Romanoff, does he fit better? He does not. That's really a bummer. At least we get Edmondson back fully healed, so we can get that -5 off of our back end. That's just absolutely insane. I know I would rather have Edmondson on that top pair, but we literally can't, because it would be a -5 on the back end with Fleury on the bottom pair. But we just keep our losing ways going, guys. We lose to the Blackhawks. We finally beat the Sabres. We got 2 back-to-backs. We beat the Panthers 4-2, and we beat the Sabres. So we're above 500 for the month. It honestly was not the best months. We had a 4-game losing streak in there. Things weren't looking too great. So we'll get through the month of November and see how things are looking past this point. It really does suck losing Hanafin till January, which that does really suck. Not really a trade offer. We are going to look into 2-0 loss to the Canadiens, to the Hurricanes. Bergeron is out until November 15th, which is quite a loss there in the middle. Oh, that is a tough loss. I don't even know if we have any backup centermen. We do not. Technically scratched. Lehkonen is a winger, so we're going to actually have to throw him into the wing. We'll bring Dvorak up, who technically no one can play center there. So we're going to have to bring Rodriguez. Honestly, we're going to have to leave it like that. Lehkonen's going to have to deal with playing center here for a little bit. Face-off 65. Who has the best face-offs? 70 and 72. So Anthony, see you. Welcome to the... Oh, he can't play center. We're going to have to leave it like that. I'd rather have the +1, to be honest, even though he can't really play center. But we beat the Blue Jackets. Honestly, don't know about that game in Philly. It's not showing, but we're on a nice winning streak right now. We beat the Islanders, Capitals, big game against the Leafs. We beat them as well. Let's see here. Alexei Sorella. Let's check him out. 79 overall. He could be a nice little addition, to be honest. 1 million in a cap hit. We're going to hold off. We're going to hold off on him. Not too worried about him. Bergeron's is insane, fully healed. We'll give him a little bit. The next stoppage, whether it's a trade or injury, we'll throw him in. So let's do this. We'll get best lines here for the AHL. Options, head coach preferred lines. And then let's go back to the NHL. We'll get Lehkonen out. Actually, I'm curious to see how Lehkonen's been doing. 5 points in 4 games played. Let's see how Sprong's doing. 4 points in 16 games played. So actually, we're going to give Lehkonen a go on that bottom pair. We'll pull Sprong out. He hasn't really been playing too well. And then we'll get Bergeron back up on that line. He's got 12 points in 12 games played, which is great. Suzuki, he's playing very well. Caulfield, he's playing well. Gunther he's already up to an 83. 8 points in 16 games played, not what we really want. But hey, that's okay. Still don't know what happened against Philly, but we beat the Islanders after losing to the Rangers. Year draft class. I feel like it's a good year for rookies. Ooh, that'll be interesting to see here. We'll take a look at that near the end of the episode, but we lose to the Preds. Got a home game here against the Pittsburgh Penguins. 6-1 victory. Got the Hurricanes in Vancouver in a back-to-back. I don't know if that best lines just messed up our NHL lines. But we split the back-to-back. Another game here against Carolina. Max Gildon, defenseman. Let's see what he is looking at. Like 74 overall, top 6D. He is 6'3". He was a third-round pick in 2017. He's 23 years old. We're going to claim him. I think that would be very nice to have. 13-9, we lose to the Hurricanes. But end of the month of November, we're in a good spot, to be honest. 13-9-0, 26 points. We lead the division above the Tampa Bay Lightning, to fully leading the team in points, 20 points in 22 games played, which is interesting. Want to take a look here. Okay, our lines weren't messed up. Marchenko isn't really developing like I want him to, but he's got 11 goals, guys. 11 goals, 5 assists in 22 games played. That's pretty nice. Drouin, that's not the best. He's on last year of his deal. If anything, we could maybe move him at the deadline, possibly, for somebody else that could possibly play that third or fourth line. Krause, not really doing too much. But let me take a look here. I want to take a look at the AHL. I should have just stayed on that page. I want to put that one guy that we picked up off of waivers. I forget his name off the top of my head. But let's do head coach preferred lines. And let's take a look at the back. I want to look at the back end here. Norlander Brooke Gildon. That's the guy. Doesn't really fit on the first line. Does Jet Wu? Does he fit? Technically he does, and I'd rather have the +1, so we'll roll with that. But let's take a look at all of our goalies. Primo, 908 with a 2.65, 11 wins in 20 games played. Swordstrom, he's only played 2 games. Let's take a look at the NHL. Carey Price, how's he doing this year? 916 with a 2.47, 10 wins in 20 games played. Jake Allen, 928 with a 2.71, 5 games played, 3 wins. Not too bad at all, to be honest. Let's take a look at the back end here, see how the boys are playing. Fleury, I mean, he's got 4 assists. I mean, that's okay. Klingberg, he's got 18 points, 2 goals, 16 assists in 22 games played. Not terrible. Jeff Petrie, a little bit down of a year, which is to be expected, playing second-line minutes. Romanov, 3 goals, 7 assists. Solid stuff there. 4 points for Edmondson and nothing for Sherratt. But that's okay. He's not meant to score goals. That's not his role. We're not too worried about him on the back end. But this is the last month here that we're going to simulate here in this episode as we get into the month of December, leading the division. We'll take a look at full team stats and standings here after we get through this month. But I know in January we will finally get back Hanafin, which will be a huge boost to morale, I think, on the back end, getting him in. But here we go, guys. Month of December. Norlander for 2 third-round picks. That's intriguing. If we can maybe change that to a second-round pick. I don't know if we could. Norlander, he's 22 years old. Not the best of points. He is a 2-way defender. He is technically a third-round pick. We get 2 third-round picks for him. But I'm wondering if we could maybe get a second out of Detroit for him. That would be an absolute steal. I don't think it is possible. Yeah, it's going to be hard to get that second-round pick. Maybe next year's second-round pick. The value's there. It's close. If we could get this second round pick, we would have a second for technically 2 years from now, which we do not have. For Norlander, who most likely will never get the call up to the NHL, trade's rejected. Maybe if we sweeten up the deal here a little bit. Because we have 2/3 for this year. Next year, we do have this. Oh, yeah, we sniped the second from Calgary. So I'm curious if we maybe switch this to this year's second. And then we throw, let's go a third for this year. It's it's still technically in our favor. If we can maybe, again, snipe a low pick, like a 6th round pick in there, see if that works. That trade's accepted. So we're wheeling and dealing with trades. I'm pretty happy with that. We get another 2nd round pick for a defenseman who's probably never going to play at the NHL level. Let's be honest. And we get some picks out of it. So we're constantly building that pick stock, and honestly, with Drouin on the table, we might even be able to get even more top players, top picks for next year's draft, which is going to be a big one. We'll take a look at the draft table and the players here coming up. Josh Brook is injured. Honestly, that's okay. But here we go. Why is it showing AHL there? That's interesting. Baddock's injured. We got a lot of injuries down in the AHL, which is not fun to see. Dennis Malgin. Man, AHL's dropping like flies right now, guys. So we're going to have to head coach preferred lines once again. And I'm kind of curious on what the back end looks like right now. Gilded, I mean, we have AHL caliber defensemen. Or no, we don't. That was an AHL guy. We need to stop the simulation here because this page is all messed up. Hayden Fleury is out until December 16th. That's fine. But we need to, honestly, we might need to sign an AHL defenseman, to be honest. Right defenseman, we're going to have to throw Niku up on the top line. -2. We're going to have to throw him on the second line with Petrie. And for some reason, this simulation board is all messed up with the schedule. I don't know why the game is doing that. I think it's because we're technically on the AHL. Jake Evans having a good year. Toffoli 22 and 25 play. Why does it show that we played the Jets twice? We didn't play the Jets twice, I didn't think. What's going on with the simulation board with the calendar? It's been real funky. We lost to the Red Wings, lost to the Jets twice. So we're on a losing streak right now with 13-12 and 0, which is not great, but we need a two-way defenseman here. We need some defensemen down in the AHL. We're struggling with injuries right now, and that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, guys. But let's see here. I'm curious if we sort through potential. Anyone? Ooh, this is actually really nice. Two-way defenseman, although this guy, 78 overall, defensive defenseman, 25 years old. Juleson, Noah Juleson. Actually, he was a former Canadian, it looks like, at one point. Let's take a look who he played for. Vancouver, Florida. Yeah, I was going to say it's been a while since he's been with Montreal, but let's bring him back. Like, why not? Bring him back. We need him. We absolutely need him. We'll give him 3 years. That's fine at $8.75. I'm sure he will be happy with that 100%. And actually, we could bring in Phillips here. Matthew Phillips, 6th round pick. Now let's bring him in. See what he can do. We'll give him a 2-year deal at $7.75. We'll see if we can get both those guys. And if we do, we'll throw them into the AHL lineup, see what they can do, and see if we can boost their trade stock, which would be awesome. So we're just going to advance a day here just in case they do accept. So we'll do it here on the main screen. So far, nothing. We got a game against the Blackhawks. Lehkonen injured until December 20th. So we're dropping like flies, which is tough. But good thing we have the depth. We have the depth at the forward position. We'll throw Sprong into the lineup. We'll get him playing some hockey, see what he can do after basically being benched is essentially the thing. So Juleson signs extremely happy. Phillips signs extremely happy. We'll throw them into the AHL lineup. Thankfully, we beat the Blackhawks 5-3, so we're back on to our winning ways. AHL team's still playing well, staying with it here so far early in the season. But we'll do head coach preferred lines for the AHL. And Phillips, second line center. We'll take that all day, every day. On the back end, Juleson, Wu. Do we have? Yeah, we have all defensemen in. Okay, that's good. That's what I was really concerned. I saw a centerman in there, and I was like, hey, we need to sign players. We're really struggling with bodies at the AHL level, not due to illness, but due to injury. So we'll continue on here. with the simulation of the month of December, and it's not looking good. We're sliding down the standings here. We're just barely above 500. We need a couple of wins here in a row. Big game against the Lightning at home this week. We lose to the Stars. Not what you want to see. Big game against the Lightning. We do win 4-3, which is nice. They lead the division. Multiple players eligible to be dressed. I don't know who they're referring to be honest. Let's take a look here. It's scratched players. Caulfield's up to an 84. Scratched. Oh, it's Lehkonen. Yeah, we're not going to throw him in. He's not ready to come back. He's not fully healed. We take a big L to the Sharks 7-1. Niku's injured. Oh my goodness, guys. We keep dropping like flies. It's actually insane how many injuries we are getting on the back end this year. We tried to fix the back end, and then we have so many injuries. Hayden Fleury, you're going to have to be thrown in there, bud. But actually, we'll get him back on the top pair with Klingberg to get the +2 for the bottom pair. Brook is back. We'll bring him back in just a second. We lose again to the Predators, so we keep losing, and I don't like it, guys. I don't want to give up that trade either. We're 500 on the year. Woo's been injured. Man, AHL team, they just drop like flies, guys, and it's kind of crazy. So we'll invalid players, back to edit lines. What is going on here? Defense. Who got injured? I don't remember seeing an injury, guys. Do you? What is going on? We're going to have to throw Lehkonen. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, Niku. We have 3 defensemen out with injuries, guys. So Lehkonen's going to have to play some defense right now. Oh, because Edmondson's got the pulled groin. That's why. Okay. Edit lines manually. We should be good. We just fixed it. Yeah, we just fixed it, so we're good. I was like, wait, what's going on? 5-3 loss to the Avalanche. Man, we started hot. We're back to 500. Woo is back. We're going to keep Lehkonen up. Usually we get a little lucky with playing forwards on the back end. We're in a wild card spot right now. Patrice Bergeron's now injured, guys. Oh, my goodness. We're dropping like flies. Dropping like absolute flies. This is not good whatsoever. We're thin on players. Niku and Edmondson. We're going to have to throw him here. And then we're going to have to throw, technically, where's Lehkonen? We got to find Lehkonen. He's a left winger. The lineups are just so messed up right now with all these injuries, changing current lines. And then we're going to go to the back end. We're going to get Lehkonen out. We're going to throw, I don't even know who's technically ready to come back. We'll throw Niku in, changing current line. It's the -5. Curse of Death. Let's get, I think Edmondson is good to go. I don't know. He's injured. We literally just have to get through this month, guys. Literally just have to get through this month. We'll throw Niku in. It is what it is. We're going to have to deal with it. Something's wrong. Power play's messed up. I was like, what's going on with the power play? And, man, our power plays are really jacked up right now with injuries. We can throw Fleury on the back end. Like, it's at this point, it's doesn't really matter. Sam Niku, okay. I was like, wait, who's fully healed, who's not? We get a point out of it. Fully healed Edmondson, thank God. We're getting players back. Can we beat the Leafs? Oh, thank God. So we went in the shootout there. We're 17-17-1. Let's just get to the next day. Do we beat the Ottawa Senators? No, we lost. We lost to the Senators 4-2, guys. Oh man, the team, on paper, the team looks great, but they're not performing to what we need them to be doing. Oh man, we're going to have to make some big time changes here because the team is not looking good whatsoever. And honestly, what we're going to need to do is to make that big change. And actually, let's move Dvorak up and Lehkonen all the way down there. But honestly, Duran, he's not doing what we need him to do. He also is only playing third-line minutes, so that I don't think helps his cause. Might maybe try bumping him up the lineup a little bit. Caulfield technically does fit the second line. I was going to say, we're going to need to shake some things up because Marchenko's not really playing some great hockey. 10 and 13 for Caulfield. Gunther, 7 and 8. So our guys aren't really putting the puck in the net. Toffoli really is. But we can't really move him around. So I think that is what we're going to have to do to change some things. See if Duran can pick it up a little bit. We won't trade him. But if he doesn't, we're going to have to look to trade Duran at the deadline. Let's get Niku out because we need to throw Edmondson in. There it is. It should be fine on the back end there. We're about to get, God, I don't even remember his name. Hanafin back here soon. Bergeron almost back to full health. We'll get him back on the second line. But man, it's going to be a tough task to try to get back into the playoffs. We don't even have a wild card spot right now. Rangers at 35, so we're literally tied for just outside the wild card. So we're gonna have to find a way to pick it up here. Point wise, nobody's really stepping up and standing out. Toffoli, Suzuki, Klingberg leading the way. Caulfield, Bergeron, he's only got 22 and 30. Marchenko's only got 20 and 36. Duran, 18 and 36. Dvorak, Gunther, Anthony, see, like the guys, Petrie having a really down year on the second line. It's really not going our way, and I'm curious about the goaltenders. Jake Evans having a good year down in the AHL, which is great. Maybe we'll call him up, see what he can do. But Carey Price has dipped a little bit, 903 with a 290. Jake Allen with a 926 with a 263. So it's really. It's tough to find anything here. Again, you guys already saw the standings. Actually, I'm curious who's leading the league. Lightning with 44. 52 with the Avalanche. 53 with the Ducks. So 53 Ducks. They are winning. They're leading the President's Trophy right now. And honestly, we're going to take a look at the draft class because we're going to have a big draft this upcoming year if we want a chance to get something going. Mitch Golf is the top player apparently. We got a gem down here, which is interesting. We typically don't get gem scouts, but we get a left winger, which we could honestly use. But Connor Bedard, like he is. If we could get anybody, this kid is who I would want to get. Connor Bedard, or honestly, this Andre. I don't really know how to say his name, but he's Jeff Carter type style player, although Jeff Carter's a centerman. NHL ready. This is a stacked draft this year, guys. We got some top players. We don't need defense. Braden Yeager, he is 1 year out. Adam Finatli, I don't really know how to say his name. He's Canadian, but we don't have him scouted. Where does he play? No scouts in the region. No idea where he plays, which is interesting. But I'm kind of curious if there are any other gems out there. So far, it's just this Kondratiev is possibly how you say his name, but he could honestly slot right into our lineup and play some hockey. But again, Connor Bedard is what we are definitely wanting to try to shoot for. But let me know what you guys think down below. How's the team playing? What are some things we should maybe try to do? Possibly Duran might be on his way out. We'll have to wait and see in the next episode. But taking a look at our draft stock for next year, I mean, we're looking pretty good. Our first round pick at this point is also looking very good. I'm thinking of maybe trying to get another first round pick with Detroit's second. We got some draft picks for next year as well. We got that second from the Flames, so we could try to maybe trade away up to a first round pick for 2 years from now. We'll have to wait and see, but that's going to be it for today's episode. If you guys did enjoy it, be sure to drop a like on this video. I'm so happy to be back with these videos for you guys. I have missed you guys so much. I've missed making these videos, but I look forward to your comments in this video. Hope you guys have a good one, and as always, stay dusty.